Israel. Peace and light to the children of light scattered to the four corners of the earth. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Children of Light Israelites. And I'd like to thank you for your wise company. Today, we're going to get into a particular lesson that the Most High has been given to me, so it is on me to give it to my brothers and my sisters. Okay, so today the name of this lesson is called The Gathering and the Restoration of the Nation of Yisrael. Okay, because our nation, we are starting to awaken. We are coming to a point where the Most High is lifting our captivity, and He's lifting our mind state to come back to Him, to be able to perceive the laws of life, to be able to what? Set up a nation and govern things according to the judgment of the Most High. And so we're going to get into that information today. But first and foremost, I want to say all praises to Ahaya Ashal Ahaya, Bahashem Yacheya Wahakodashi Ruaka, Shema Yasha'ala Ahaya, Alahaya Nawa Ahaya Akkad, Shema Yasha'ala Ahaya, Alahaya Nawa Ahaya Akkad, Shema Yasha'ala Ahaya, Alahaya Nawa Ahaya Akkad. Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power is one. Selah. So, the first scripture we're going to get into today is going to be Acts chapter 1, verses 6 through 7. That's Acts chapter 1, verses 6 through 7, and it reads, When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Master, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Yisrael? And he said unto them, It is not for you to know the time or the season which the Father has put in his own power. So, we see right here they're asking the Messiah, is this time to restore the nation of Israel? Because we have been from captivity to captivity to captivity, and you look up today in the Americas and all the westernized world scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, we are what? In captivity. So the disciples were looking, is it time to restore Israel? The Messiah told them, it is not time for you to know the place or the time. Only the Father in heaven knows these things. So we're going to see that information that the Most High is revealing this information, what would take place, how it would go, and how we will live according to what was shown to us. So we see this gathering that's going to take place, this restoration that's going to take place. It has to be to the Essene Messiah. It can only work that way, and we're going to look at that analogy. Genesis chapter 49, verse 10. Genesis chapter 49, verse 10, because the gathering should be to the Mashiach, as it is written. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. So we see right here, once again, the gathering of the people shall be to Shiloh, meaning peaceable one. Peace in what nature? Peace in all creation, okay? Towards equity, towards human, man alike, and creation, okay? To make peace with the Father. This is Shiloh. This is the Essene Messiah, the peaceable one, who taught equity and love for all creation, even the humble grass, okay? Even the leaves, okay? Even the lily buds, everything. So we see the gathering shall be towards the Essene Messiah. We're going to look some more into that because the Spirit has commanded it, and it shall be as it has been written. Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16. Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16. And it reads, Seek ye out of the book of the Most High and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her make. For my mouth it hath commanded it, and his spirit it hath gathered them. So, we see right here the Most High has commanded it in the heavenlies. In the spirit, it is starting to gather us in the spirit. As you can see, the Essenes are starting to awaken. There are signs and wonders that are following, okay? As you can perceive that what? Christians are starting to keep the Sabbath, and what? Israelites are going vegan. So we know the spirit of truth is prevalent in the earth today. It is starting to wake us up, to come back to judgment, to come back to equity. None one of these prophecies shall fail, even though they have distorted our book. The essence of the Messiah has been revealed to us. That what? The peaceable one, okay? Peace for all creation, all right? So let us continue with that understanding and get some more information concerning the Israelites, because we were scattered to the four corners for our trespasses, and this is the prophecy that was given to show our stiff-neckedness and our people walking away from the laws of life and rethinking ourselves in the land of our captivity. So let's get it. Deuteronomy chapter 30, and we're going to read verses 1 through 9. And it reads, "And it shall come to pass, when all these things come upon thee, the blessings and the curses which I have set before thee, that thou shalt call them to mind amongst all the nations whither the Most High thy power hath driven thee." Verse 2, "And shall return unto the Most High thy power, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul. That then the Most High thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whether the Most High hath scattered thee. And if any of thine be driven out unto the utmost parts of heaven, from thence will the Most High thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee." Verse 5, "And the Most High thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it. And he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. And the Most High thy power will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed, to love the Most High with all thy heart, with all thy soul, that thou mayest live." So you see that? The law of life, that we may live. Verse 7, "And the Most High will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on all them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Most High, and do all his commandments which I command thee this day." So, we're going to look at, you see the blessings and the curses in the land of our captivity? Okay, we must call to mind the Negroes that have been scattered. We must come back to the Most High and obey him with our mind, body, our soul, our spirit. We shall be gathered from everywhere, okay, from the uttermost parts. Okay, he said he will multiply us beyond our forefathers, okay, and we shall gather together, and we shall be in equity and in love of one another. Once again, we're going to look at a precept. According to this, we're going to go to the Apocrypha, King James Apocrypha, and we're going to go to Baruch chapter 2, verse 30, and it reads, "For I know that you will not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivity they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am the Most High their power, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear." Verse 32, "And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name," which we know that means his holy character. "And they shall return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the ways of their fathers, which sin before the Most High. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And there shall be lords, and they shall be what? Lords of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them." So we see once again, the stiff-necked Israelites did not want to listen. Okay, from the beginning, the Most High has been telling them no blood in the land, okay? And because of this, the land vomited them out for worshiping all kinds of abominations and going after the whores of the nations, okay? That's what the Most High called Israel, okay? Called a backsliding whore, all right? Going after the ways of the nations, a harlot, okay? Could you imagine that? If you was married and your wife just keep cheating on you and cheating on you and cheating on you, and you doing everything for her, and she started cheating on you. Come on, bro. All right, so this is the stiff-necked Israelites the Most High has been dealing with and calling them back. But now he say we will remember and think on his holy name. The laws of life have went forth. We're starting to understand that the Most High requireth not blood. He is not bloody. He requires what? Obedience. It's better than sacrifice. This is what we are understanding, and this is what we have come to know, that we may walk by the laws of life and eat from the table of the Most High and not eat from the table of Satan, which is shrouded in blood. Okay, let us continue, because the Israelites we will gather as the scriptures have commanded. We're going to go to Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 2, because the Most High commands us to come together. But even though we all coming together, we all will not make it into the land, because we gathered and came out of Egypt, right? But everybody ain't walking to the promised land. It was only 2 souls. Moses ain't even going to the promised land, okay? Think about that, all right? So the Most High ain't playing with you stiff-necked Israelites, I'm telling you, okay? So Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1, and it reads, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Verse 2, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the shaft, before the fierce anger of the Most High come upon you, before the day of the Most High anger come upon you. Seek ye the Most High, all ye the meat of the earth, which have wrought his judgments. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Most High's anger. So you see right here, the Most High telling us to gather together nation that's hated by all other nations. They do not desire us to be a nation, because when we come forth, we're setting the standard for righteousness, okay? What the Most High have shown us, he say, Jacob, you have I dealt with only out of all the nations. So therefore, we are the judges, we are the magistrates. We set forth the standard in the earth, okay, according to what is righteous. And according to the spirit of truth, the Most High has revealed to us the laws of life, okay? And we see that those who understand his judgments and those who understand the ways of the Most High, the meek ones that will inherit the earth, these are the ones that must gather together. And we will do it as it is written. So we're going to look into more into that. We're going to go to Isaiah chapter 35. And it reads, the wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose. It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice even with joy and singing, and the glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it, and the excellence of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Most High and the excellency of our Elohim. Strengthen you the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong and fear not. Behold, your Elohim will come with vengeance, even Elohim with the recompense. He will come and save you. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Then shall the lame man leap as the hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall the water break out, and streams in the desert. And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water, in the habitation of dragons, where each lake shall be grass with reeds and rushes. Verse 8. And a highway shall be there, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. And the unclean shall not pass over, but it shall be for those, the wayfaring men, though fools shall not err therein. No lion shall be there, no any ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there. Verse 10. And the ransom of the Most High shall return and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads, and they shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and singing shall flee away. So we see right here that the redeemed shall come back, okay, that in the wilderness it shall be happy for us. We shall plant vineyards. We shall be what? Like the Garden of Eden once again. Those who are weak and those who understand that we must gather together, we will strengthen each other in the strength of the Most High, in the love and edification of all creation. And there shall be a highway there, and this highway is called what? The way of holiness. No unclean thing shall pass through it. All right? You must walk through the fire, and if you are not purified, you will be burnt up. So anyone who's trying to walk through the fire to get to New Jerusalem, and you are not purified, you shall be burnt up. You shall be consumed. The spirit of judgment and the spirit of burning shall be there. Okay? As it is written, thus shall it be. We're going to look into that word ransom. Okay? Because it say that the ransom of the Most High shall tread their feet there. And that word is 6299 in your Strong's Concordance is ransom, okay? It means to the rescue, the redeem, to sever, that is ransom, to deliver, to let be, to set free. So we see that those who were delivered, those who were set free, those who were let go out of captivity, when we come back to what? The way of holiness. If you are not holy, you will be burnt up. Okay, only the ransom, only those who follow the laws of life, who have been purified to the extreme measurement, who measure up to the 144,000, they shall walk through the fire, right? Okay, so we're going to look into that analogy some more. Isaiah chapter 51, verses 1 through 6. Isaiah 51, verse 1, and it reads, Hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness, ye that seek the Most High. Look unto the rock whence ye are hid, and the hole of the pits which ye are dig. Look unto Abraham your father, and unto Sarah that bare you. For I called him alone, and blessed him, and increased him. For the Most High shall comfort Zion. He will comfort all her wasted places. He will make her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of the Most High. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. Hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nation, for a law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to the rest for a light of the people. My righteousness is near, my salvation is gone forth, and my arms shall judge the people. The isles shall wait upon me, and on my arms shall they trust. Lift up thy eyes to the heaven, and look upon the earth beneath, and the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment, and they that dwell therein shall die in like manner. But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished. So we see right here, verse 1, it told us to look to where we come from and look to where we have fallen, because we was the greatest nation on the earth. But now we got the madness in our nation. Even though we have waken up and know that we Israelites, we still have rogue Israelites, okay? So we see verse 1, look to where we have fallen from, and look to where we are now. Verse 2, look to the blessings of the father Abraham and to the righteousness of Sarah. Okay, they loved the Most High with all their heart. The holy covenant was established with them. We shall come back and establish another holy covenant that is not shrouded in blood, okay? Because the Most High requires obedience to his law and not the blood of innocent creatures, okay? And we're going to look some more into that. Verse 3, it says, Zion shall be like a Eden in thanksgiving and joy. We shall what? We shall walk and eat the laws of life. Verse 4, it says, a law shall go forth. What is this law? The laws of life. There shall not be blood shrouded on this mountain where the Israelites gather it. It shall be the Essene Israelites, the only ones that will make it, that will pass through the fire. Okay? It shall go forth in judgment. This law shall be a light to the Essenes. We shall trust in the arms of the Most High, which is the word of the Most High. We shall believe and have faith in the word of the Most High. And the wilderness shall be happy for us, for we shall rebuild the ruined places. As it is written, thus shall it be. And so now we're going to look some more into that analogy of all the things that have happened to us, how we were scattered, how we went through the nations. Our captivity is starting to be lifted. We must come back to the laws of life so the Most High will be jealous for us once again, okay? And stop being shrouded in blood. So Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 10. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 10, and reads, Therefore fear not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Most High, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seeds from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet. and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, said the Most High, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all nations whether I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and I will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For thus said the Most High thy power, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up, that thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee, they seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, and with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquities, because thy sins were increased. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins was increased. I have done these things unto thee. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be spoiled, and all that preyed upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, said the Most High, because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Verse 18. Thus saith the Most High, Behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tent, and have mercy on his dwelling place, and the city shall be built up upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry. And I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as afore, and their congregation shall be established before me. And I will punish all them that oppress them. Verse 21. And their nobles shall be found of themselves, and their governors shall proceed from the midst of them. And I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who is this that engages his heart to approach unto me, saith the Most High? And ye shall be my people, and I will be your Elohim. And behold, the whirlwind of the Most High goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the heads of the wicked. The fierce anger of the Most High shall not return, until he have done it, until he have performed his intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it. So we see right here, I read a lot. Let's go through it. It says, all those that devoured us shall be devoured, and all those that spoiled us, we shall spoil them. We shall take those of prey who took us a prey, and the Most High shall bring again our captivity, and have mercy on us for his name's sake, and make us greater than in the days of old. Okay? Once again, our nobles and our governors and our officials, they will come forth from our own nation. We shall govern ourselves, we shall walk in the laws of life, and we shall love our nation, okay? And when they see the glory on us, because the Most High will glorify the Essenes with signs and wonders, when the nations see it, they will come bow themselves to us and understand that indeed we are the sons and daughters of the Most High, okay? And we're going to get some more information concerning this. We're going to read Ezekiel chapters 36. Ezekiel chapters 36, and we're going to start from verse 6. And we're going to read a lot, so bear with me here. It says, Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 6, and it reads, Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, and to the rivers and the valleys, Thus saith the Most High Power, Behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because you have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore, thus saith the Most High, I have lifted up my hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. But ye, O mountains of Yisrael, ye shall shoot forth your branches, and yield your fruit to my people of Yisrael, for they are at hand to come. Verse 9, For behold, I am with you, and I will turn unto you, and you shall be tilled and sown, and I will multiply men unto you in all the house of Israel, even all of it, and the city shall be inhabited, and the wasted shall be built, and I will multiply upon you man and beast. You see that? Man and beast, because we're not going to be trying to eat the animals, so they're going to come to us, okay? And they shall increase and bring forth fruit, and I will settle you after your old estate, and I will do better unto you than at the beginnings, and ye shall know that I am the most high power. Yea, I will cause men to walk upon you, even my people Yisrael, and they shall possess thee, and thou shalt be their inheritance, and thou shalt no more henceforth berave them. That word berave means to abort, okay? So that means that the Most High will never, the land will no more spit us out or abort us. Verse 13, thus says the Most High Power, because they say unto you, thou land devours up men and hast beraved thy nations. Therefore thou shalt devour no more, neither berave thy nations any more, said the Most High. Neither will I cause men to hear in thee the shame of the heathen any more. Neither shalt thou bow the reproach of the people any more. Neither shalt thou cause thy nation to fall any more, said the Most High. Moreover, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own ways and by their doings. Their ways were before me as an uncleanness of a removed woman. Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed in the land, and for the idols wherewith they had polluted it. Verse 19, and I scattered them amongst the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their ways, and according to their doings I judged them. And when they entered into the heathens where they went, they profaned my holy name. When they said to them, these are the people of the Most High, and they are going forth out of his land. Verse 21, but I had pity for my holy name's sake, which the house of Israel has profaned amongst the heathen, whither they went. Therefore it said unto the house of Israel, thus says the Most High Power, I do not this for your sake, O house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sake, which you have profaned amongst the heathens, whither you went. And I will sanctify my great name, which we know is his great character, which we have profaned, and say that the Most High required blood and telling people to eat up the animals. That's what he's talking about. So verse 23, and I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned amongst the heathen, which you have profaned in the midst of them, and the heathen shall know that the Most High, saith the Most High Power, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. And I will take you from amongst the heathen and gather you out of all the countries, and I will bring you into your own land, and I will sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness and from all your idols, and I will cleanse you. And a new heart will I also give you, a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. Verse 28, and ye shall dwell in the land that I gave your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your Elohim. And I will also save you from all your uncleanness, and I will cause for the corn, and will increase it, and lay no famine upon you. And I will multiply the fruit of the trees and increase of the field, and ye shall receive no more reproach of famine amongst the heathen. Then shall you remember your own evil ways and your own doings that were not good, and shall loathe yourself in your own sight for your iniquities and for your abominations. Neither for your sake do I do this, saith the Most High. Be it known unto you, be ashamed and be confounded for your own ways, O house of Israel. Thus says the Most High Power, in the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities, I will also cause you to dwell in the cities, and the wastes shall be built, and the desolate land shall be tilted, wherein it was laid desolate in the sights of all that pass by. And they shall say, this land that was desolate has become like the Garden of Eden, and the waste and the desolate and ruined cities are become like fenced and inhabited. Verse 36, then the heathen that are left round about shall know that I am the Most High Power, that buildeth the ruined places, and plant that was desolate, and I, the Most High, have spoken it, and will do it. So we see that I read a whole chapter right there, and we're going to go through and look at particular points that stand out. Verse 17, it said, the Most High will remove us as a defiled woman, as she has been removed from her uncleanliness. What? Verse 18, from the blood that was shed in the land. Once again, that's why we was vomited out and spit out of the land, because the blood that was shed amongst the house of Israel. And so let us keep going. Verse 18, we were scattered according to the heathens, according to the folly that we was walking in, we were scattered, okay? And so all that information, we're going to rebuild the ruined places. We're going to be back into the wilderness. We're going to be what? Planting trees, planting vineyards, eating of the fruit thereof. We shall have our own governors. Only the righteous shall pass through this way. And so we're going to see that we're going to what? Rebuild the ruined places. We're going to inhabitate the desolate places, as it is written. We're going to see Amos chapter 9, verse 9. And this is going to look into some more as we are inhabiting the ruined places and rebuilding the ruined places in the wilderness. Amos chapter 9, verse 9, and it reads, for lo, I will command and I will swift the house of Israel amongst all nations, like corn is swifted as a sheaf, yet shall not one least grain fall unto the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake, nor prevent us. Verse 11, in that day will I raise up the tabernacles of David that is fallen, and is closed up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Eden and all the heathen which are called by my holy name, said the Most High Power. Verse 13, behold, the days come, said the Most High, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth the seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the wasted cities, and inhabitate them. And they shall plant vineyards, and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens, and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon the land, and they shall no more be pulled out of their land, which I have given them, said the Most High Power. So we see right here, once again, the Most High has scattered us for our sins, and all the sinners of our people, they shall die by the sword. Verse 11, we shall rebuild the ruined places. Verse 12, we shall possess the remnant of Eden, and all the nations, all the heathens who are called by the holy characteristic of the Most High's name. We shall, what? Have them as a possession. We shall plant gardens. We shall eat the food thereof. We shall plant trees. We shall eat the fruits thereof. And the land shall no more vomit us out, because there will be no blood amongst us, and we shall be planted firmly in the love of the Most High. And we shall never, ever go out again. Never, ever, 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 ever. Okay? So let us continue. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7, and it reads, the Most High shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. In that day shall the Most High defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble amongst them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as Elohim, as the angels of the Most High before them. So we see once again the order of who will be saved first. Judah will be saved first, that the rest of the inhabitants of the southern kingdom shall not boast themselves against us. They shall realize who is Judah, and we shall be saved first. As it is written, but Israel shall be saved as well. And we're going to look into that, because the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, they shall no more be two kingdoms, but they shall be one kingdom. And we're going to see that the northern kingdom shall be saved as well. Zechariah chapter 10, verse 6. Zechariah chapter 10, verse 6, and it reads, and I will strengthen the house of Judah, and I will save the house of Joseph. And I will bring them again to place them, for I have mercy upon them, and shall be as though I had not cast them off. For I am the Most High their power, and I will hear them. So you see right there once again, the Most High said he shall bring us back. He shall bring Ephraim back. He shall bring Joseph back. He shall bring Judah back. The southern kingdom and northern kingdom, they shall no longer be two, but they shall be one nation. Okay, under the Essene Messiah. And we're going to keep looking to that information because we have been released from our captivity and our mind frame is starting to come back to the Most High and understand that righteous judgment of the Most High. And so let us look into this releasing of captivity, okay, because the blood guilt that was shed amongst our people, that's why we went into captivity. But now the blood is starting to come off of us because we're walking in the laws of life, we're walking in the gospel of the Holy 12, and the Essene's way of living, and to love all creation, and the Most High is starting to deal with his people once again. So let us look into how the Most High is going to start lifting our captivity. Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 7 through 11. Jeremiah chapter 33, verses 7 through 11. And it reads, "And I will cause the captivity of Judah and the captivity of Israel to return, and I will build them as at first." Verse 8, "And I will cleanse them from all their iniquities whereby they have sinned against me, and I will pardon all their iniquities whereby they have sinned, and whereby they have transgressed against me. And it shall be to me a name of joy and a praise and an honor before all the nations of the earth, which shall hear all the good that I do unto them, and they shall fear and tremble for all the goodness and for all the prosperity that I procure unto them." Verse 10, "Thus says the Most High, again there shall be heard in this place, which ye shall be desolate, without man and without beast, even in the city of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, that are desolate, without man and without inhabitant and without beast." Verse 11, "The voice of joy and the voice of gladness and the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride and the voice of them that shall say, Praise the Most High of hosts, for the Most High is good, for his mercy endureth forever. And all of them shall bring forth the sacrifices of praise into the house of the Most High. For I will cause to return the captivity of the land, as at first said the Most High." So, we see right here, let us touch on those particular PowerPoints, because we see that we shall, verse 7, we shall be released from our captivity, and we shall be billed as first. Verse 8, we shall be forgiven because there will be no blood amongst us, so the Most High will pardon our sins because we will not be shrouded in blood, okay? Verse 11, it says that there will be joy amongst us, and we shall praise the Most High. It will be sacrifices of praise. No blood in the temple, okay? So for all you people in the land, chopping up the animals, blood, all shrouded in blood, you will not pass through the fire, okay? You will be burnt up. The spirit of judgment and the spirit of burning will be prevalent, the way of holiness. This is only the 1/3 will come through the fire, all right, okay? Which is the way of holiness, all right? So let us keep looking into this information, because the Most High, we will give forth the sacrifices of praise. We will be in joy and gladness for the restoration of our nation. The Most High is starting to what? Lift our captivity again. Let us look into that analogy some more. Joel chapter 3, verses 1 through 8. Joel chapter 3, verses 1 through 8. And it reads, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, and I will gather all nations, I will bring them to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my inheritance, whom they have scattered amongst the nations, and have parted the land. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, I will return a recompense upon your own head, because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, and that you might remove them far from their borders. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off. The Most High have spoken it. So, once again, let's look into these particular scriptures, because we see the days are at hand that we shall return from exile. Judah and Jerusalem shall be saved. We shall gather together, and the oppressors who sold us, we shall get them, and we shall sell them. Okay? All the goodly things, the gold, the silver, and all the jewels of the Most High. Okay? They have taken everything, but it shall come back to us. The Most High say he will give them a swift recompense. Okay? He will make a full end to all the nations whither he has scattered us, but he will not make a full end to the nation of Israel, but he will indeed correct us in measure. Okay? Let us continue with this good understanding. Isaiah chapter 60, verses 12 through 19. And it reads, For the nation and the kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fig tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the palace of my sanctuary. I will make the glorious place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come until thee, and all that despise thee shall bow themselves at the sole of thy feet, and shall call thee the city of the Most High, the Zion of the Holy One. Okay, verse 15. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and thou shalt suck the breast of the kings, and thou shalt know that I, the Most High, am thy Savior, and thy Redeemer, and the mighty one of Jacob. For brass I will give gold, and for iron I will give silver, for wood, brass, and for stone, iron. I will also make thy officers peace, and thy executors righteousness. Verse 18, Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wastings nor destruction within thy borders, but thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise. So we see right here that violence shall no more be perpetuated in our land, okay? And all the goodly things shall come back, all the gold and silver that was taken, okay, because after all the nuclear explosions and everything that's about to take place, when that happens and the Israelites are the ones being saved, we shall plunder the nations that are left. So all our gold and all our silver is coming back. There shall not be violence in us. There shall be no blood amongst us. We shall have equity for all creation, and we shall be walking in the law of life, and we shall be planted in our lands. So we see right now that the Most High is lifting our captivity, and he has given us clear of mind to see that our officers and everyone, our judges and our nobles and all the officials of our particular nation, the nation of Yisrael, they will be righteous, okay? There will be no extorting. They will not be money-hungry wolves trying to get money, because it will be what? An esteemed community. Hashtag esteemed community, okay? So let us continue with that understanding. We're going to look into Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 8, because a large company shall come back, but everyone will not pass through the fire, okay? And people will be getting burnt up, playing with the Most High, talking about, oh, you know what? Clean and unclean meat. Let me eat. I can eat my meat. I'm going to eat my meats. And guess what? You and your meats and your flesh going to be consumed in the wilderness, all right? We're going to see who the Most High weighs between. Okay, what is righteous? Is it righteous to eat the dead carcasses of the animal, or is it righteous to eat from the earth and the tree? And when you get out there in the wilderness thinking you have the way of life, you're going to be burnt up. So let us look into this analogy some more. We're going to see a great company returning, but not all shall enter. Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 8. Jeremiah chapter 31, and it reads, Behold, I will bring them from the north country and gather them from the coast of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame and the woman and the child and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return. Verse 9, They shall come with weeping and with supplication, and I will lead them, and I will cause them to walk by the rivers of the water in the straight way, wherein there shall they shall not stumble. For I am the father of Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. Heed the words of the Most High, O ye nations, and declare in the isles of far off, and say, He that scattered Israel will gather him and keep him as the shepherd doeth his flock. For the Most High hath redeemed Jacob, and ransomed him from the hands of him that was stronger than he. Therefore they shall come and sing in the heights of Zion, and shall flow together to the goodness of the Most High, for the wheat and for the wine and for the oil and for the young of the flock and for the herd, and their souls shall be as a watered garden, and they shall not sorrow any more at all. Then shall the virgin rejoice and dance, both young man and old man, for I will turn their mourning into joy, and will comfort them and make them rejoice from their sorrow. So we see right here that the Israelites, we will come back in our land. Once again, we will plant vineyards. The Most High will wake us up, but a great company shall come. All right, and they will come with weeping, because when all the travesty and all the madness that's about to happen and the bloodshed that's about to happen for the sins that are being incurred over the years, when that recompense come back, it's going to be a great destruction. People are going to be utterly slaughtered. So those who are left will be crying, and they will understand that, yes, the Most High was never playing with you people. He is only enduring your folly. He is only having this folly being endured for his holy name's sake in long suffering, okay? That is one of the characteristics of the Most High. For his elect's sake, for his elect's sake, he is long suffering, all right? And that's why the Most High have not yet destroyed this place, because his people, we are still here. But we are gathering together. We shall come back into the land. We shall come back into the wilderness, and we shall execute righteousness according to the laws of life, okay? Let us continue with that information. So we're going to get into Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 14. Because this information that has been presented to us, we have found this information, and much righteousness shall come forth from this information. And anyone who tries to talk against the laws of life, you can perceive Satan in them. Because how is preaching righteousness to the animals and not eating of their dead carcass, how is that of Satan? So you got to ask yourself, what's wrong with your mind to take something like that? You know what I mean? To say, oh, you know what, in the last day, they go to doctrines of devils. Really? Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. All right? Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 14, and it reads, I will be found of you, saith the Most High, and I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations, from all the places whither I have driven you, saith the Most High, and I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to be carried away, because you have said, the Most High has raised us unto a prophet in Babylon. Know that thus saith the Most High, the King that sitteth upon the throne of Dawud, and of all the people that dwelleth in the city, and of all your brethren that are not gone forth with you into captivity. Thus saith the Most High Power of hosts, behold, I will send upon them the sword and famine and pestilence, and I will make them like the vile fig that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. Wow, so you see the Most High say everybody that will not want to come out of this captivity and want to stay a part of Babylon, the Most High say he will bring a sword upon you, okay? He said, wow, y'all are so evil. You know this place is going to burn to hell when the Most High say, they are so evil. Really? Our people is wicked as hell, man. Then you try to tell them the laws of life, they look at you like you saying something wrong. And I look at them like, really? What's wrong with people's brain? They have been socially I would say engineered. Their brain has been engineered by the ways of Babylon. They have been caught up and drunk the wine of Babylon and caught up in the what? The flow of the matrix, the system. They are uploaded in the system, and they'll kill you for the system. They love the system, all right? So we see right now the Most High say, these people is wicked as heck, but the Most High have yet raised up prophets in Babylon to speak the truth, to speak the words, and everything that we speak shall come to pass, according to as it is written, because it's not by our power that these things should come to pass. It is by the power of the Most High only that it shall come to pass. Thus the Most High said it, thus shall it be. Okay? And when you see the prophecies start coming to pass, then you're going to say, you know what? them crazy people that were talking about don't eat meat and this and walk around with these garments on. Hold on, where these people at? They don't left? Where they at? We somewhere in the wilderness, guess what? Being protected by the Most High. And y'all laughed at, just how y'all laughed at Noah, y'all laughing at us. Y'all going, well, to the wilderness. Then you got other Israelites talking about, well, we can't go there yet because we got to wait on Christ. And we got to wait on this. And we got to, until Christ come back. What? If our people don't wake up and come together, the rest going to be killed off, okay? Only the ones that are gathered to the Essene Messiah will understand this, not Christ, because we know Christos Helios is son worship, all right? Essene Messiah, when we gather to him, the peaceable one, Shiloh, equity for all creation, love for all creation, no blood being shrouded amongst us, no blood being amongst the Israelites. We shall come back and we shall be a renown. We shall come back in our land, according to Deuteronomy 19:10, that no bloodshed shall be amongst us in our land. And if we, matter of fact, let us look into this, because when we establish our kingdom again and we establish the city again and plant vineyards, there will not be blood amongst us. We're going to start off in Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 10. Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 10, we're going to look at this city that we're going to establish on the mountain, because the city that is established on the hill cannot be hidden. Our light will shine forth. And guess what? The Spirit of the Most High shall dwell amongst us, and we shall have no blood amongst us. Deuteronomy 19:10, and it reads, that innocent blood be not shed in thy land, which the Most High thy power giveth thee for an inheritance, and so blood be upon thee. Now, when you look at that word blood, it should have been translated to blood guiltness, that no blood guiltness be upon thee. What blood? Like I stated earlier, we have been vomited out the land because we was what? Like a woman that was unclean in the sight of the Most High. Blood. What blood? The blood of the innocent animals. Okay? And you Israelites still can't get it, but only those who perceive the laws of life will indeed get it. Only those who will walk after the laws of life will indeed want to restore our nation as a whole, as a unit. One mind, one spirit, one soul, one body. Hashtag Essene community, okay? So let us continue with that information, because there will be no blood amongst us, and we're going to look at what happens to cities that is established with blood. That's why all nations are finna get judged, because all nations have blood in them. But when the elect come together, when all the holy that are in all nations that are scattered come together, and there is no more what? The scattered elect, then judgment will hit the whole earth. And we're finna look at this analogy. We're gonna look into Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12. And it reads, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity. Behold, it is not of the Most High of hosts that the people shall labor in very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the Most High power, as the water covered the sea. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that polluteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. So you see right here, the Essenes speak against this blood and drunkenness. Blood and drunkenness, no strong drink and no blood amongst us. So you see this? This is the only way the Israelites can come back together and be protected of the Most High, to not be shrouded in blood and to not be what? In drunkenness. No strong drink and no what? No flesh eating. All right? Once again, we see that analogy, and we're going to look into Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. Because woe be unto a bloody city like Babylon and all the other nations that are just eating up and just shrouded in blood. Judgment for the world, not just Babylon, but everybody. Okay, the whole world. Just like the flood hit the whole earth, the flood of judgment going to hit the whole earth. And so let us look into that. Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. And it reads, woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robberies. The prey depart not. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. The horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. And there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses, and there is no end of their corpse. They stumble upon their corpse. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, they selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcraft. Behold, I am against thee, said the Most High of hosts. I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and thy kingdom thy shame. And I will cause the abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and I will set thee as a gazing stock. So you see that right there? The Most High is going to destroy Babylon. The only reason the Most High can get his bloody, lying, disgusting, abominable, witchcraft, hellistic place judgment is because the elite, the protected, the elect, we are here. When we leave, it's over with. Y'all gonna be seeing the crazy people talking about they don't eat no meat and laughing, they finna go in the wilderness and all hell don't break loose. Guess what? You think all these missiles pointed at the United States for nothing? You think all these countries coming together and getting tired of the whore of Babylon, you think they ain't pointing missiles at them? I guess you think that's just for showcase, huh? Okay, we're gonna see. According to Spirit and Truth, the nuclear annihilation is going to wipe everything out, and only the elect shall be protected. So look, we see the bloody city that is full of lies. We see that any city that is established with blood and wine will fall. The Essene community indeed knows this, and that will not be amongst us just love, equity, and honesty amongst our people. So we see right now that the Most High is going to gather us a second time. He's going to have great compassion on us. And we're going to look into this information to see this again. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 20. And it reads, At that time I will bring you again, even at that time I will gather you, and I will make your name a praise amongst all the people of the earth, and I will turn back your captivity before your very eyes, thus saith the Most High. So you see right there, once again, the Most High is going to bring forth our captivity right before our eyes and free us. That time is amongst us, Israel. We're at the time where we're understanding the laws of life. We're proclaiming the laws of life because this gospel will go out through the four corners of the earth, okay? Then the end shall come. So let us continue. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them and shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and for handmaids. And they shall take them captives who captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass that in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest from thy sorrows and from thy fears and from thy hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, How has the oppressor ceased, and the golden city ceased? The Most High has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepters of the rulers. He has smote the people in a great wrath with a continuous stroke that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet, and they break forth into singing. So right here, you see the Most High is going to have compassion on the Israelites once again, and we're going to take Edom, and we're going to possess them. All nations that do not want to serve us shall be utterly wasted, okay? And because all nations, they're going to fight against each other and kill each other off, and those who are left, we're going to actually put down on them and like, listen, y'all got to tighten up, bro. Like, we got this, you feel me? Y'all done tore the earth up, y'all done poison the water, poison the sea, poison everything. So guess what that means? Y'all have no longer capable of governing this world. So guess what? Our rulership is now, okay? So it's now time for the Israelites to take over, all right? Because y'all wicked as hell. And the Israelites, some of them wicked as hell too. But only the righteous, only the righteous ones will be the ones who will be governed and set up in providence, okay? So we don't saw that information. Let us look some more into this as we see that the Israelites, once again, the Most High will have compassion on us. all nations will come to serve us, because they will understand that the laws of life are coming forth and that we have love for all creation. It doesn't matter your nation. It doesn't matter what kind of spirit you're in, and who do you love. Do you love Ahia, or do you love Satan? Do you love the Most High, or do you eat at the table of Satan? Which one? Okay? Because there are heathens called by the Most High's name, and they will serve us. All right? So, in those nations who will not serve us, they shall be utterly wasted. And let us look at that information as well. Well, I think I already read that information, but that's Isaiah 60 and 12 through 19. So I think I already read that. But let us look at only a remnant shall escape, okay? Because we shall see that only the holy shall make it into Jerusalem. Let us go to Ezekiel chapter 20 and verse 34 through 38. We're finna see the purging of these rogue Israelites, because not everyone will make it into the kingdom. Everyone will be gathered, but not everyone will pass through the fire. So let us look at this information. Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 34, and it reads, "And I will bring you out of the people, and I will gather you out of all the countries wherein you are scattered with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness in the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, saith the Most High Power. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant, and I will purge out from amongst you the rebels. Them that transgress against me, I will bring them forth out of the countries where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Most High Power." So once again, the rebels shall be weeded out. The Most High will gather us all out of lands. But guess what? Only the elect will pass through the fire. The rebels will be what? Put to death. Okay? By the spirit of judgment and the spirit of burning. And the Most High will purge from amongst us blood. Okay? And let us get that understanding. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 4. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 4, because only the holy shall enter Jerusalem. Nothing defiled or abominable shall make his way in there. And when I mean nothing, I mean nothing. If you eating dead body parts and decomposing body parts, you will not make it in. You will be burnt up because you are shrouded in blood, and blood will be purged. Let us get it. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 3, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion, and he that remaineth in Jerusalem, shall be called holy, even every one that is written amongst the living in Jerusalem. When the Most High shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and the sons of Judah, and the sons of Israel, and of Jerusalem, and from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning." So we see right there, the reason I put the sons of Judah and the sons of Israel is because in the Targum text, it includes the women and the men. Not just the women, but the men too. All of them is polluted and defiled, okay? And the Most High shall purge us of the blood that is shrouded on our people, okay? If you're walking in the midst in the garden and you think you're going to be eating of dead carcasses, you will be consumed by the spirit of judgment and the spirit of burning. The Most High will weed out the rebels. He will weed out the rebels, and he will put those to death who will not submit to the laws of life, because the living word will start judging people in the spirit. People are going to be falling dead in the wilderness, all right? So only a remnant can get this, and only a remnant can understand this, and only a remnant will escape. So let us look at that analogy, because the Most High have sent me, Quanah, to be his mouthpiece, to actually bring forth this information, to know as a nation that we will build in love and edification and in unity, one mind, one body, one spirit, one soul, as seen community, okay? No blood, nothing but love amongst us, all right? Using our gifts for the Most High, not being perverted by the nations, but governing ourselves in love, in righteousness, according to as it is written, that shall it be. So let us look into that analogy that only a remnant will understand this. Isaiah chapter 37, verse 32. And it reads, "For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion. The zeal of the Most High shall do this." So, when I was reading this, I was like, wow. a remnant shall escape. Then it said, the zeal of the Most High shall do this. Corner I shall do this. So anyone who is following the laws of life in the last days and hearken unto the prophets that were sent to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel, if you indeed hearken, if you indeed forsake lands, forsake mother, brother, sister, cousin, and everything, you thus shall be saved. Those who hearken unto the voice of the Most High power. Those who hearken unto Corner Ah, who is being used as instrumentality, an instrument of the Most High, a delegated authority to speak his words. And we're going to look at a precept that because only the remnant that follow the words of Corner Ah shall get it. Okay, excuse me, only the remnant that follow the words of Corner Ah shall get it, and those who proclaim the truth, because I am not the only one. There are many proclaimers of the truth, the Essene community, okay? The zeal of the Most High shall accomplish this, which I am, the zeal of the Most High. So let us keep going. We're going to look into that analogy again, 2 Kings 19 and 31, because only a remnant shall get this. And anybody else that's coming on your page, coming against you, and they can't understand the laws of life, don't go back and forth with them, because only a remnant can really understand this in the last days. 2 Kings chapter 19, verse 31. 2 Kings chapter 19, verse 31. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion, the zeal of the Most High power shall accomplish this. So once again, there shall be a remnant that shall understand the laws of life, and we shall escape together, and we shall establish the kingdom back in the wilderness, okay? As it is written, thus shall it be. Let us continue. We're going to look at the survivors once again. Joel chapter 2, verse 32. The book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 32. And we're going to look into those survivors, because when all hell break loose on earth, a lot of people are going to be put to death. The scriptures say the slain of the Most High shall be many. And I guess people think this is a game because everybody living all lavishly and just chilling right now. But when judgment comes, it's going to be a flood, all right? You see how the flood happened to Noah? That's how judgment going to come. All hell going to break loose, okay? When I mean all hell, not some, but all hell going to break loose. So let us look at Joel chapter 2, verse 32, and it reads, And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Most High shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Most High has said, and the remnant whom the Most High shall call. So once again, it's only a remnant. Everybody who's calling on the name of the Most High, if you shrouded in blood, calling on the name of the Most High ain't going to look at you because you're going to have blood. The Most High don't look at anything that's an abominable. He turns his face away from that. So you call on the Most High, say, oh, God, help us. They killing us. They get what? The Most High going to be like, listen, don't pray for these people. Because they shrouded in blood. They don't want to listen. They want to keep eating up my animals like that's what I created them for you to eat them. So let us continue. Because we are called by the Most High's holy name, and we have been profound amongst the heathens. We have been a curse amongst the heathens. They have pretty much just subjugated us to all kind of madness and abominable practices. But thanks be to the Most High that we are awakening and that we are coming back to the laws of life. Praise the Most High for this understanding. We shall gather as a nation. We shall establish a nation. We shall restore our nation. We shall not be shrouded in blood. And we shall love each other with all our heart, all our mind, and all our soul. As a family for real, okay? All right. So let us look at the last scripture of today. It's going to be Zechariah chapter 8, verse 13. Zechariah chapter 8, verse 13. And it shall come to pass that as you were a curse amongst the heathen, O house of Judah and house of Israel, so I will save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong. For thus says the Most High power of hosts, as I thought to punish you when your fathers provoked me to wrath, saith the Most High of hosts, and I repented not, so again I have thought in the days to do you well unto Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. Fear ye not, these are the things that ye shall do. Speak ye every man truth to his neighbor, execute judgment of truth, and peace be in your gates. And let none of you imagine evil in your heart against his neighbor, and love no false oath. For all these things do I hate, said the Most High. And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying. So we see the Most High is giving us the blueprint of how we should establish our nation in love, in righteousness with one another, in love and truth, okay? We are gathering together. The captivity is being lifted off our minds, off our heart. We have eyes that we see, and we have ears that we hear the truth, and we're coming back to the Most High. This is the restoration of the nation of Israel. Shalom.